You done with your questions, Mr. Charles?
For now, yeah.
Okay.
But I do have good news, though.
You do.
My krill oil came in.
Oh, got that krill oil.
Right, that's good news.
That is good news.
Right.
We are happy about that.
You take krill oil?
I take shark cartilage.
Shark cartilage. Is that the same thing?
No.
No, that's like what?
No,
Glucosamine.
it's good for your joints. My dad got me on it, but I'll get on what you guys have. I'll give it a run.
Yeah, if you do or when you do, Onnit. It's the best one.
Okay. Well, then.
Is that the best one?
It's the best one.
Straight up the best one. Everyone knows that, or most people know.
How do I get it? Where do I go?
You go to onnit.com.
Okay.
But if you're down to support the podcast,
Yeah.
which I know you are because you're here,
Yeah.
go onnit.com/Jocko and support your wallet 10% off. Boom.
Dude, savings and the best.
Boom.
Get some.
Someone asked me, this was not yesterday, day before. Like, they're like, hey, I know, you guys are down with Onnit and all that stuff, but hey, is that the only supplements you take for real? I was like, yeah, that is. Krill oil, alpha brain sometimes, shroom tech.
Mm-hmm.
Warrior bars too, but I don't know if that's a supplement. Anyway.
Dude, those are so good.
It definitely supplements your
need
food
for
intake.
Yeah. Yeah, big time.
Tasty.
But yeah, you can support that way if you're in the mood to. Also, the Amazon. So I was trying to analyze the whole Amazon thing. Like, how does that kind of fit in the whole? I mean, we kind of know how, but okay. So you click through when you do your shopping on Amazon. You click through before you do your shopping. Click through the website, jockopodcast.com or jockostore.com. So, boom, you support that way. But so how does this fit in, right? So it's kind of like, okay, we're here putting out this message, right? And people who like click through or they buy shirts or something like that, they're kind of like the backup, kind of like the reinforcement,
They're actually the full-on supporting mechanism. Never mind the backup.
Yeah. So
Like,
okay, yeah,
they're on the field. They're
right,
on
right.
the battlefield
So
with
backup
us.
that's a bad one. That's like they're like the reinforcement,
They're the full-on support
They're
mechanism.
the enforcement.
Yes, the
Straight up.
enforcement. Yes, very good, very good.
I like that.
And yeah, man. So the Amazon click through, that's a good one. Good way to support this podcast, you boy. And of course, subscribe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I used it.
Yeah, you did use
I
it.
used
So
it.
I'm getting asked this a lot, right? And,
Yeah.
And I'm just going to lay it out there. So podcast Shiboha, where does that come from?
Yeah.
It's a really quick story. Here's where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy whose name is Henach Larange.
Renato Laranja. Just for clarity.
Okay, for clarity. But those of us that speak with a fake Portuguese accent from time to time would just say Henach.
Right. Yeah, that's the real.
So anyways, there's a video production company called FlixPoint Videos, which is Echo Charles's company, and they did a series that starred this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu master, Renato Larange, and my son actually was very into the Henach program, and in being into the program, he started to adapt his own fake Brazilian Portuguese accent.
Yes.
And since he speaks no Portuguese whatsoever, he just simply does the pidgin of it. And he adds words or parts to words that he thinks in his mind sound like they might be Portuguese.
Sound correct. Yep.
So one day he said to me in a broken, imitated, fake Portuguese accent, he said, "Dad, are you going to record that podcast, Shiboha?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And then that is where it came from. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have any spelling. It's just my 13-year-old son with his comedic vibe going on.
Yeah. How he got that from, or what he got that from, is podcast. That's like podcast. That's podcast. And then poha and boa. There's two things.
Right.
Poha is like this expression. It's like it means something specific, but it's ultimately it's an expression.
But ultimately, let's be clear here. It's also a very bad word.
Yes.
It's like the worst swear word.
I don't think it's the worst.
It's a very bad swear
we'll just
word.
Say it's bad, yeah.
In Portuguese.
Yeah, that's poha.
Poha.
Yeah, it's like slang. It's a mix. Yeah. So there's that. Then there's boa, which means good.
Boa means good. Right?
Exactly. So your son's thing. I don't know if it was Poha or Boa. I'm assuming Poha because Renato says Poha all the time.
Yeah.
So that's
but
what
he
he
also says
did.
boa from time to time.
Yeah.
And my son, when he says it, it's podcast boa.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But that's where it came from.
Yeah.
When we're going to listen to that podcast boa right here.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do.
That's crazy what our kids say.
Yes, indeed.
And still, when you think of it, that's still kind of an ambiguous explanation, really. So where does that leave us? Like, okay, so what does it mean?
The thing is, it's
I know what
meaningless.
that means. Yeah.
Although, I guess it does mean that we're talking about this particular
Mm-hmm.
podcast boa.
Yeah, and we're excited about it.
Yes, we are.
And there
We
it
are.
is. Boom. So, back to the support thing. Subscribe if you haven't already. That's a good way to stay in the game. When the new one comes out, it just boom on your phone.
Boom.
Listen, ready.
I know I am.
Me too. And I'm on it. YouTube channel video coming out. I think I'm gonna do a more of a comedy video. See how that goes over.
Well, it won't go over well with me, obviously.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got the heavy podcast and everybody loves it, and let's get after it and let's crush people and let's do the darkness. And you're going to do a comedy video? Is that where we're going with this?
Yeah.
All right,
Just
man.
to see how it goes over.
We'll trust that judgment, I guess.
We'll let the troopers decide on that one.
Yeah.
Also, Jocko store. That's where we slang these shirts. But it's less about selling shirts. It's more about, hey, if you want to support the podcast, you want to wear a cool shirt with multiple layers, by the way. I talk about the layers, but let's just say, I don't want to go into a big thing about the layers.
Please don't.
But there's more to it than just the saying, discipline equals freedom. What does that even mean? It sounds cool. What does that mean? Anyway, there's a meaning. Darkness, there's a meaning. And all the shirts have a cool
What's the meaning behind the T-shirt that says, the one that you're wearing that just says Jocko Podcast? That's just the meaning.
Well, if
in
you
its
look
own
on the
right.
back, you can see the meaning.
Oh.
Ooh, there you go. See?
When are you going to find them?
That's the layers I'm talking about. Yeah. Anyway, women's stuff coming out. Tank tops are already out, but the women's T-shirts are coming out as well. Just to kind of give all the girls or the women a small update. Some women were at the muster.
They certainly
asking about some stuff. I told them.
Enforce.
Yep, they were enforcing.
Enforce.
Got some new patches. The 3x2, so they can fit on the standard Velcro situation. And I think there's like a tan color, right? It's like the official kind of color that
tan's
sometimes
good
you can't.
for the troopers that are going out into the desert.
I believe that's FDE, Federal Dark Earth.
Yeah.
Good, because I was trying to Google that and find out, and there's a bunch of them.
Yeah,
So FDE.
FDE. So
Okay.
I got the new SIG 320 in. So sick. And of course, I had to get one for Amanda. So
Of
each
course.
have SIG 320 compact FDE.
FDE.
Nice.
Yeah,
Actually, that's coincidentally really helpful. I was looking for a long time for that.
awesome.
My man.
Yeah.
Rash guards are good too. Look at them, multiple layers. Like I said, just trust me on that. And those are the ways to support if you're in the mood.
You
to
can
support.
also support the podcast by buying some Jocko White tea.
Yes.
If you want to just improve every single aspect of your life. No, if you want to get some tea, you can get it. If you don't think you like tea, you probably will like this tea, because even though it's technically tea, it doesn't actually even taste like tea. It tastes like a nectar that you need to try.
Yeah.
I can't explain it. There's
I
just
agree
no
with
words.
that. I agree with
No
that. I
words
had it
for
last couple of days
Yeah.
at the muster, and man, that was awesome.
It's tasty. And plus, as we know from the Amazon reviews, it is added. There's a guy who deadlift went from 400 pounds to 8,000 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 7,600 pound increase
Legit
in
case
your
study
in your
right there.
in your deadlift.
Oh.
And so that's right there again. That's good to go. So get yourself some Amazon tea. Also, when you're on Amazon, you can get yourself a copy of a book called Extreme Ownership that I wrote with my brother Leif Babin. And the thing is, if you have a copy, that's cool. Get a couple more. You want to have them on standby, because sometimes you're just dealing with someone at work, and all of a sudden you realize that they're not taking ownership of something. It's no problem. You're not stressing out.
Yeah.
You just reach in your desk, you grab a copy, you go, hey, why don't you take a quick look at this right here? up the chain of command, down the chain of command. Now, when you do that, not only are you going to make their life better because they're going to be able to figure some stuff out, you're also going to make your life easier because now your surrounding personnel are in the game.
And you're taking extreme ownership in and of it to that action. Because remember, kid, you know how like a lot of people, that's the question.
Deep. That is deep.
No, because that's the question. People out there be like, hey, what do I do when my colleague is not taking extreme ownership? You're like, whoa.
Ooh, yeah.
See, the mere nature of you saying, hey, you're not taking extreme ownership, that's you not taking extreme ownership.
So you own that.
Now you're owning it. You're saying, hey, I recognize this situation of you doing and not doing certain things. Let me take action. What can I do to take extreme ownership over this situation? But it's true.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is
absolutely.
true. Also, as you are on Amazon, just nod your head a little bit and say thanks to Brady Lanter, Brady Trooper, who has been the backside support to the podcast Shiboha with all kinds of stuff. Yep. So shout out to Brady for getting after it. Technically, he's getting after it technically.
Yeah. Technically and technically.
Like what I did. Now, you just talked about the muster, too. We just had the muster in San Diego, California. It was freaking awesome.
Yes.
It was really cool. We had a bunch of people there. The guy that helped run the event, named Matt, he's been running events for 20-something years. And he came up to me 2 hours into the event. This is after people were PTing at 4:45 in the morning. This is after everyone was in their seats at 0800, ready, standing by to get after it. No stragglers. Yep. Like when I say no stragglers, I mean no stragglers. 0. 350 people, boom, in their seats, ready to rock and roll. He came up to me during the first little break, and he says, I've actually never seen anything like this, where an entire conference is so just on board in the game and getting after it. He said, I've never seen this in any kind of conference. So
major and okay, I come down. The schedule says, hey, Echo, film some stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the loose order.
Commander's intent.
I look at the schedule. Hey, optional 4:45 workout AM. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not used to the 4:45 AM. It's cool. Don't get it wrong, but I'm not used to 4:45 filming,
working,
workouts, whatever.
Being awake.
So I'm like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna show up on time. I'm gonna show up ahead of time. But really, though, optional. Really, first day. Let's face it. How many people are really going to be at this thing?
Maybe 25,
I'm
30?
thinking
and people
10
are traveling
to 20. You know what I mean?
And we had guys from the UK, 5 different countries were represented, 42 different states. Like, it was insane.
Yeah,
so people are all over.
Yeah,
there's issues. There's no way. I was like, I'm not a morning person like you. Like, I'm usually a guy that's up until 2 or 3 working on stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to get up. I was like, dude, I'm here with Jocko and Leif and Echo. I've got to get after it. I was like, I'm going to be pissed if there's like 5 people out there.
Yeah, I'm thinking 10, 20 would be solid. Boy, I pull around. I'm ahead of time, by the way. I'm pulling up at like 4:28, 4:29. I come around the corner and I see a straight up riot. Like, not rioting, but like the type of crowd that's like in a protest or something. Guys stretching, I'm like, dang. So I go I park like on the side. I come, and you guys already had worked out already.
Yeah. So what
Leif and I
ready. What Leif and I did was we went. I said, hey, Leif, we might get contingency is there's 150 people. We're not going to be able to direct this thing if we're doing it. Right. We need to get in leadership position. So we need to go work out before the 0445 muster workout. We need to go work out before that.
Optional, by the way.
So we went and hit it before. And it was a pretty hardcore workout. It was one of those workouts where it can suck as much as you want it to suck. And, of course, we want it to suck bad. So we're dripping with sweat. We come walking over. And it's the same thing for us. We are walking back from the workout area, which was down by the San Diego Convention Center. We're walking back to the hotel. We're in a little jog. We turn the corner. Now we're really close. So we start walking. And we see the same thing. We see, like, all these people. And it was 250 or 300 people are ready to rock and roll at 4. It's only 4:28, right?
Sun's not even up. It's nighttime.
The sun's not even thinking about coming up.
Yeah.
It's straight up nighttime. Yeah. So we got after it, and that was a good representation of the attitude that was at the muster.
Right.
And the other funny thing was people kept when people would ask questions, they'd say, "Oh, I just got promoted in this new position, and this is going on." And then someone else would say, "I just got promoted 3 times in the last 6 months, and I want to know." And so you're thinking, okay, all these people are just fast tracked. They're in the game. They're on it. It's just, it was really an awesome event. Great job with the video. Echo Charles made some really killer videos for that, and it was awesome.
Those videos were awesome. Like very captivating. Me sitting there in the crowd.
Yeah.
It was just like, there's a couple times I had to get up. The first day I stood in the back or sat in the back, and I had to get up and I'd pace because I was just like so connected. It just brought me back, or just emotional connection. And then, everyone else did the same thing. And the second day I'm sitting up there in the front row, and I was like, I can't stand up and pace right now. But just everyone, you just watching other people, and it's just, dude, great job. Those videos were insane, man.
Thanks. You were in one of those.
I know. I had the doctor's mask on, so nobody recognized me.
On the DL.
That's right.
Yeah. Somebody asked me about it. They're like, pretty blonde and the guy holding twins, babies. I'm like, yeah, that was
that's right. That's right. That's the rough transitions video.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the rough transition video that Echo made is the person holding the baby.
The babies.
The babies.
The twins. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's JP right there. So there's a little layer right there, isn't there?
Yeah,
all of a
little
sudden? Now
inside
that's
thing.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, if you're kind of on the inside, you're gonna see them and you're gonna recognize them. That's I think the fun part. One of the many fun parts.
Awesome. And also, so if you like what we're talking about here, and you want to continue, maybe you didn't get enough of this today. You want to keep talking to us. You can actually just find us cruising hard, apparently, on the interwebs. On Twitter, on Instagram, and we even on that Facebooky. Echo is at Echo Charles, and I am at Jocko Willink, and Jeremiah JP Donnell is at, where you at?
On Twitter, JP or at JP Donnell. Instagram would be Never Settle Consulting, and Facebook page Never Settle Consulting LLC. So if you like the page, able to put out any upcoming events or anything that's going on, just try to connect with people through social media.
Awesome. Dig it.